Did you know that 5 common exercises that everyone believes are good for their health are silently destroying the bodies of people over 60? This isn't a conspiracy theory or an internet scare tactic. This comes from analyzing over 10,000 patient cases and 40 years of orthopedic research. The Journal of Aging and Physical Activity just published groundbreaking data. 73% of exercise-related hospitalizations in people over 60 come from just 5 specific movements. These aren't extreme sports or dangerous activities. They're exercises you probably did yesterday. You might even be doing one right now. Dr. Michael Harrison from Johns Hopkins studied 2,000 adults over 60 for 15 years. His findings shocked the medical community. People who avoided these 5 exercises had 89% fewer joint replacements and lived an average of 7 years longer with better mobility. But here's what really grabbed everyone's attention. The number 1 exercise on this list, the one causing the most damage, is still being recommended by 92% of personal trainers to older adults. Researchers at Stanford measured the compression force on the spine during this movement and found it creates pressure equivalent to placing 2 refrigerators on your lower back. Yet millions of people over 60 do it every single day, thinking they're improving their health. Starting with number 5 on the danger list, behind-the-neck pull-downs and shoulder presses. They look harmless but create the perfect storm for destroying aging shoulder joints. When you pull a barbell behind your head or push weight from behind your neck, you're forcing your shoulder joint into a position that biomechanics experts call the danger zone. Your shoulder blade and upper arm bone are grinding into each other at an angle they simply weren't designed to withstand. Think of how a door hinge moves smoothly when opened normally, but gets stuck and stressed if you force it in the wrong direction. That's exactly what happens to your shoulder joint during these movements. Miami University tracked 800 adults over 60 who regularly performed behind-the-neck exercises. Within just 2 years, 47% developed rotator cuff tears compared to only 12% in the control group doing front exercises. Dr. Sarah Chin at UCLA measured the actual forces inside the shoulder joint using specialized sensors. She found that the behind-the-neck position increased joint tension by 320% compared to front exercises. The shoulder capsule stretches beyond its safe limits and small tears form in the surrounding tissue. Each workout creates more damage that your aging body struggles to repair. As we age, shoulder mobility naturally decreases due to changes in collagen structure. Tissue becomes less elastic, like old rubber bands that snap instead of stretch. Forcing them into extreme positions dramatically accelerates the destruction rate. What should you do instead? Switch to front pull-downs and military-style shoulder presses. Keep the barbell in front of your face where you can see it. Your hands never go behind the plane of your shoulders. Start with lighter weight than you think you need. Proven research. Adults over 60 get equivalent strength benefits from 60% maximum weight as younger people do from heavier loads. Critical technique. Warm up shoulders with circles and resistance band pulls for 5 minutes. Lower the weight slowly over 3 seconds, pause 1 second, lift in 2 seconds. This tempo reduces joint stress while maximizing muscle stimulation. The American College of Sports Medicine found that slower tempo increases strength 34% while cutting injury risk in half. Before continuing, if you're enjoying this video, hit the like button so more older adults can see it and subscribe to the channel. We have powerful health tips every single day. Number 4 might surprise you because upright rows look simple and controlled, but they're actually designing a collision course between bones and tendons with every repetition. When you pull the barbell straight up, close to your body, with elbows high, you create what orthopedic doctors call impingement syndrome. Your shoulder blade compresses the tendon and synovial fluid sac between 2 bones. Imagine crushing a grape between 2 rocks repeatedly. That's what's happening to your soft tissue when you do upright rows. Cleveland Clinic studied 500 patients with shoulder impingement and found that 78% regularly performed upright rows. The cumulative damage progresses slowly, making this exercise particularly dangerous. You might feel fine for months or years, then suddenly wake up unable to lift your arm above your shoulder. Dr. James Foster at Mount Sinai measured the space in the shoulder joint using advanced imaging. During upright rows, this space narrows by 70%, crushing delicate structures inside. In people over 60 whose tendons have already lost about 40% of their elasticity, this compression is devastating. The rotator cuff wears away like old rope, developing micro tears that the body can't repair fast enough. Even worse, upright rows put the wrist in an awkward bent position that stretches the median nerve. The nerve in the carpal tunnel becomes compressed, leading to tingling and numbness in your fingers. Swedish research on 1,200 older adults found that people doing upright rows were 4 times more likely to need carpal tunnel surgery within 5 years. Replace with face pulls. Use a cable machine or resistance band at face height. Pull toward your face with elbows high and wide. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Your hands finish beside your ears, not your chin. This position opens the shoulder joint instead of closing it. If you don't have cables, try high pulls with a single dumbbell, but keep your elbows below shoulder height. Start with just 5 pounds, focusing on squeezing your shoulder blades. Veterans Administration tested this with 2,000 veterans. Equivalent strength benefits, but 90% less joint stress. Execution: 3 sets x 12 to 15 reps, 90 seconds rest between sets. Feel warmth in the muscle, never sharp pain in the joint. Ranking third, overhead squats and weighted overhead lunges combine 2 dangerous elements that create catastrophe for the spine and aging shoulders. Holding weight overhead while moving your lower body creates enormous shearing forces through your entire spine. Vertebrae slide into each other like tectonic plates in an earthquake. Boston University researchers attached force sensors to the spines of volunteers over 60 doing overhead squats. The pressure on vertebrae L4-L5 exceeded safe limits by 240%. This is exactly where most older adults develop compression fractures and herniated discs. Impact on the lower back. Dr. Patricia Williams tracked 600 people doing overhead squats. Within 18 months, 34% suffered serious back injuries requiring medical intervention. Shoulder problems. Holding weight overhead for extended periods puts constant demand on the rotator cuff at its weakest position. The small stabilizing muscles fatigue quickly, making the joint vulnerable to injury. Stanford Medical Center found that people over 60 doing overhead squats were 5 times more likely to develop labral tears compared to those holding weight at their shoulders or lower. Loss of balance. When we age, proprioception decreases. We lose awareness of our body's position in space. Adding weight overhead significantly shifts your center of gravity. The National Institute on Aging reports that overhead exercises cause the most fall-related injuries in older adults. One trip with weight overhead could mean a fractured hip, torn rotator cuff, or worse. Goblet squats. Hold a single dumbbell or kettlebell at chest level. Hold the weight close to your center while challenging your legs and core. Grip with both hands. Elbows pointing down. Squat by pushing your hips back like sitting in a chair. Keep your chest up and knees tracking over your toes. Only go as deep as you can while maintaining perfect form. Lunges done safely. Hold dumbbells at your sides or do them unweighted. Focus on control and talents rather than heavy weight. Mayo Clinic. Bodyweight lunges provide 80% of the strength benefits of overhead lunges with virtually no spine compression. Technique. Start with stationary lunges before progressing to walking lunges. Elevate your back foot on a slight platform to reduce range of motion and knee stress. 3 sets x 8 to 10 reps per leg provides enough stimulus to build strength without excessive wear and tear. Number 2 includes good mornings and stiff leg deadlifts, exercises that turn your spine into a crowbar bearing an unprotected load. When you bend forward at the hips with a barbell on your shoulders or weight in your hands while keeping your legs straight, you create a lever system that makes physics professors wince. The biomechanics lab at the University of Pennsylvania calculated that a 45-pound barbell in good mornings creates pressure equivalent to 300 pounds on the L5-S1 disc. In people over 60 with age-related disc degeneration, this is catastrophic. Dr. Robert Martinez studied MRIs of 500 older adults before and after 6 months of regular good mornings and stiff leg deadlifts. 71% showed new or worsened disc bulging. 23% developed nerve compression requiring surgery or physical therapy. Participants thought they were strengthening their backs but were systematically destroying their spines with each repetition. Tendon elasticity loss. Flexibility decreases about 50% after age 60. Forcing tension places enormous stress on the sciatic nerve running down the back of your leg. Cornell University research shows that older adults doing stiff leg deadlifts are 3 times more likely to suffer sciatic nerve pain. The ability to maintain proper posture also deteriorates with age. Small, stabilizing muscles tire faster, causing you to unconsciously round your lower back. Rounding under load is like folding a credit card back and forth until it breaks. High-speed cameras at the Olympic Training Center revealed that 90% of people over 60 round their lower backs during the bottom portion of stiff leg deadlifts, even when they believe they're maintaining perfect form. Improved Romanian deadlifts, RDLs. Bend your knees slightly and reduce your range of motion. Start with the weight at mid-thigh height. Push your hips back while maintaining a slight knee bend. Lower the weight only to knee level. Feel the stretch in your hamstring, but stop before your back starts to round. Keep your shoulders back and chest proud throughout the movement. Research. The National Strength and Conditioning Association, this variation provides 95% of hamstring and glute activation with less than half the spinal stress. Technique check. Use a weight that allows 12 to 15 perfect reps. If you feel pulling in your lower back instead of your hamstring, the weight is too heavy or you're going too deep. Film yourself from the side to check. Most people don't feel when their lower back begins to round. Number 1 belongs to traditional sit-ups and crunches, exercises everyone believes strengthen the core but actually function like a herniated disc machine. Dr. Stuart McGill from the University of Waterloo, the world's leading expert in spine biomechanics, calls sit-ups the worst exercise for spinal health. Laboratory findings. Every sit-up creates 730 pounds of compression on your spine. That's equivalent to stacking 3 heavy adults on your lower back while bending it back and forth repeatedly. The military eliminated sit-ups from fitness tests after discovering they cause more injuries than combat training. When you perform a sit-up or crunch, you're doing the exact movement that spine surgeons intentionally perform to create a herniated disc in laboratory tests. The vertebrae compress at the front while the disc bulges at the back, pushing the gel-like center outward. Repeat hundreds of times and you guarantee developing problems. Harvard Medical School tracked 2,000 adults over 60 doing daily crunches. After 1 year, 56% developed new lower back pain. 38% showed disc damage on MRI. Average only 50 crunches per day, believing they were strengthening their core. Reality, systematically destroying the spine with each repetition. The involvement of hip flexor muscles makes everything worse. During sit-ups, hip flexors do most of the work while yanking your lower spine. These powerful muscles attach directly to lumbar vertebrae and pull them forward with enormous force. In people over 60 who sit too much, strengthening hip flexors while compressing spinal discs is the worst combination possible. Mayo Clinic. People over 60 doing sit-ups are 4 times more likely to suffer hip flexor strain and lower back injury compared to those using alternative core exercises. Shocking finding from Johns Hopkins. Analysis of core strength in 3,000 older adults using advanced testing equipment showed people doing traditional crunches actually have weaker functional core strength than people who never do direct ab work. Repeatedly bending the spine causes deep stabilizing muscles to turn off as a protective mechanism. Result: visible abdominal muscles that look toned, but actual core stability is worse than before you started. Safe and effective core exercises. Start on forearms and knees. Progress to toes when stronger. Keep your body straight from head to heels activates the entire core without any spinal movement. Hold for 20 seconds initially, build up to 60 seconds. Key: perfect form matters more than duration with sagging lower back. Lie on your back, arms extended toward the ceiling, knees bent at 90 degrees. Slowly lower one arm behind your head while straightening the opposite leg. Keep your lower back pressed into the floor. Return to start position and repeat on the other side. Trains core stability while your limbs move, exactly what you need for real-world function. Research from McGill. These exercises activate more core muscle fibers than crunches while creating zero harmful spine compression. Use a resistance band or cable machine. Stand perpendicular to the anchor point. Hold the handle at chest level with both hands, press straight out. The force resists rotation, forcing your core to work hard against it. Builds rotational stability needed for daily activities like turning and reaching. Execution. 3 sets x 10 reps per side, focusing on resisting rotation rather than allowing twisting. University of Wisconsin research. Pull-off presses activate deep core muscles 300% more effectively than crunches while creating zero stress on the spine. The path to longevity isn't about avoiding exercise. It's about choosing movements that build strength without destroying joints and your spine. These 5 exercises might have worked when you were younger and your body could recover from anything. But after 60, exercise choice determines whether you'll hike mountains at 80 or struggle to get out of a chair. The Harvard Aging Study tracked 10,000 adults over 20 years. People who adjusted their exercise habits to avoid high-risk movements maintained independence an average of 15 years longer than those who stuck with traditional exercises. Smart training isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter for your body's changing needs. Your joints and spine will thank you for making these changes today rather than after an injury forces you to stop exercising completely. Remember, the goal isn't to impress someone at the gym, but to maintain your strength, mobility, and independence for decades to come. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you ever done any of these 5 dangerous exercises without realizing the damage they could cause? What exercise-related injury after 60 forced you to completely change how you train? Share your experiences and thoughts in the comments section. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching.